So good day guys, welcome. So this is our WTI crude oil, right? We want to see where this price will be moving for the next day. So we actually did our weekly analysis on this WTI crude oil where we predicted that this price will actually drop to tap these lows, right? I never expected it to happen in one day in a day. I was thinking it could possibly to happen in 2 or 3 days, right? But once the market opens on Monday, we kind of had this huge drop that came to take out this loss, which we were predicting for. So that is why if you will not subscribe, make sure you click on that subscribe button, like and share. So above all, once this price actually dropped and took out this loss, guess what we had the next again? A pullback. And guess what? After the pullback, we are now expecting a bearish move. So today we kind of closed bearish, right? Our WTI closed bearish. So is this bearish move over? Definitely not. We would want to see it drop further down. So now, before we get started and try to predict where this price will be moving the next day, we would want to see this full trend on WTI crude. So clearly we can see that this price is a bearish move. So I mean, if you know you want to trade with the trend, right? Like they always say, trend is your friend. You want to place a trade on your with your trend. So if you take a look at it, we're having lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. So this is the new lower lows, right? Then price kind of gave us a pullback, right? But price failed to actually break above this level, right? We saw price drops, then price pushes up. Assuming price actually broke above this level, then we might consider this as an uptrend move on WTI crude. But unfortunately, or would I say fortunately or unfortunately, anyone, price came to tap this level, which it failed to break above it. So we kind of had like a double top. The price rejected and dropped. And guess what? We're now having a further drop. So this is still an indication that this WTI crude oil, we are on a bearish move. So we are still on a bearish move on WTI crude oil. So now let's start this trend movement from here. So this will take as a lower lows. And here is the correction. This we will consider as a lower lows on WTI. Here would be the correction. Here comes the lower lows. Here is the correction on WTI crude. Of course, what do you expect? We need a lower lows again that should be able to break this previous level here. You saw that this price was reacted here, right? We saw price actually drop to tap this level, right? Which we are all expecting it came. So we would be needing a new low to actually break this level. So this is the level of 776, right? So this WTI crude is still trading at 77. So we would want to see it drop to a level of 76 and possibly break below that level. But before it actually does, such, there will be some like retesting that will be done. So now let's get into that. First of all, before we go into that, we want to know this moving average. You can clearly see that this is the moving average that will guide us, which is 10 period moving average. We all know the rules of trading this moving average. Once the price is below the moving average, then we are to sell. But if it is above it, then we are to buy. So clearly we can see we are below the 10 period moving average. So it is still an indication that we are bearish. So now let's go to the 4-hour time frame. So if you take a look at this 4-hour time frame, you saw that price kind of came to this level, it's tested. I very much likely to see price come to this same level again, retest before giving us a pullback. Once price comes to this level, I would be expecting price will get to a level of 76, maybe 76.735. So this WTI crude should be dropping to a level of 76.735. After that, a pullback would be made, which we're very much going to get. So we should be able to see a pullback to a level of possibly 79 and then a continuous bearish move. So first of all, the first level we would want to see this WTI crude get to is a level of 76. So we would see a further drop down on WTI crude. Once it gets to a level of 76, then we should see a pullback. After the pullback has been made, then a continuous bearish move would be made on this WTI crude. So this is exactly what I am seeing. So because the reason is that if you take a look at this 4-hour time frame, we will take a let's start this movement from here so it to be quick. So we will see here as a drop, and we will consider this as a correction. We will see this as a drop, right? We will consider this as a correction. Now we are getting a new drop on WTI crude correction here. You will see this as a drop. After this huge massive drop, you saw that there's a huge massive drop, right? of course, a correction needs to come into play. This is one of the reasons why I said this WTI crude oil should drop further to a level of 76. Then a correction will happen, will play out. Once the correction has played out and it is over, then a continuous bearish move on WTI crude oil will be made.